Hello. Today we're going to talk about addictions. I want us to get to the bottom of this so that they never plague you again. I was working with a client today. Oh, look, I have pink shoes on. They're just funny because I'm wearing all black and white. I often wear black and white because it's like the yin and the yang, but it's the union of both. I didn't realize why I was doing that, but anyway, so I had a client this morning and this just came to mind, okay, today's video for sure. Let's get, I'm not revealing his or her problems. I just am I want everyone to be freed from this. So my name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer. I am a psychologist in my day job. I'm not your psychologist. I welcome all religions. I will often talk about the one I know the most and I live, but I look into so much because I know that God is the God of all of us. Divine love is the God of all of us and gives wisdom to all and doesn't want that any ought perish or not know the truth. Jesus said that you will know the truth, but you know it by living it, right? And then the truth will set you free. The verse before that, the word he spoke before that was that if you are my disciples, you will do these things, you'll apply them. And so, hi, welcome. Sometimes we don't, I always forget where the camera is, that's why I'm sometimes we don't apply these things. But let's understand why we don't apply the truth to our life and why we don't know it more deeply and why sometimes people don't break free from their addictions. I know because there's been stuff that I have been wanting to let go of, and it more showed up in the form of enabling in relationships, being toxic with people and not realizing, because I was taught as a child, and apply this to your life, right? You could be taught as a child, when you're a child of a narcissist, everything revolves around that person and you're supposed to, I remember having a dream. I was in my 20s and I might still be, I'm not kidding. I don't believe in age, we're eternal. Anyway, so I had a dream and I was facing a dragon and I told, and my dad was in the dream with me and I saw that it was his dragon. And I was like, this is your dragon. This is not mine. This is not for me to face this dragon, And I told my dad about the dream afterwards because we were speaking back then. And he's like, well, your family, you have to stay and fight that dragon with me. And I didn't tell you the rest of the dream. And I was like, no, that was your dragon and it wasn't mine to face. And I saw that it was really it was like a frog. It was it was really something small that he had turned into a dragon. And it wasn't mine to face. It wasn't mine to fight. And for me to keep fighting it was it somehow enabled so that he wouldn't fight it himself. And my dad, all of us need the courage. You need to develop. It's so imperative. You don't need to, but if you want to face have the good love in your life, then you need to face the dragons and see what you've made as a dragon. And so it impaired my dad from being the courageous man that he could be. I was impairing him, but I thought I was helping him at first because I was taught by him. And even afterwards, when I told him the dream, he's like, no, this is your job. I'm like, no, it's not my job. That was me differentiating from my father. And so I already recorded an interview with my dear friend that I love so much, but I haven't posted it yet. I'll have posted it by the time you get this, right? I had a backlog of videos because I was consistent in making them, but I was spreading them out to post them. So in that, if you go back and look at it, he talked some about his father, and his father would just get in his face and, let's just say, speak to him for a long time. I always want to keep everyone else's story private, so I don't remember exactly what he shared. I don't want to share more than he shared in that video interview. He asked me to interview him, I didn't ask him. And so but I'm just so protective of people's information. But imagine, let's just imagine, because I know another person's father, and that guy yelled at me, made me cry. I love him so much, but he made me cry. But I called him out on it. I'm like, dude, like, he thought I was interrupting him. And I'm like, I do not speak your language. Like, I don't know when there's a pause, or, when there's a pause because you're thinking of the next word to say, or the conversation's pause. I don't know at all what you're talking about. So if I'm trying to read, it's like the jump rope to jump in, and I was just bawling my eyes out because he accused me of something that was within himself, and I love him, like, God rest his soul. He passed on just in the last 2 years after that conversation, not long after that conversation. But so let's say someone's yelling at you, right? And you're just like, oh, forget this. I'm going to go drink. I'm going to go get high. I'm going to go, let's just like hook up with someone or whatever. I'm going to go, this person walked all over me and showed me by his actions, was teaching me that it's okay for him to do that, to keep yelling at me and put his stuff on me. So I'm going to go get high off of other substances or other people. This is what we do, is they're allowed to get high, so I'm allowed to go get high, and for me, if it's like I get to go get high by taking a bunch of spiritual classes, that I thought was spiritually feeding me, but it's really just I'm afraid to trust in what God's already given me, what love and truth, and I'm not saying don't take spiritual classes. We're always meant to seek wisdom, like we're seeking for gold, but some people will enter into the spiritual path and like, I'm so spiritual, and develop a spiritual egotism, and then it doesn't look like an addiction, but it still is, or keep helping other people and help other people. I've worked with pastors and stuff before, people that work in the spiritual community, and you can feel so good because you're helping other people, but it's scary in your intimate relationships. So they have problems sometimes in their close relationships because they're not willing to do the work of looking at those and facing those. And so there are hidden highs. Let's call them hidden highs. High. It's a different kind of high. And Elliott shows up again. I loved Elliott so much. Elliott Smith was a friend of mine. He's a musician, but he has a lyric that goes, gonna spend the day higher than high. You'll be beautiful confusion. Once I was you, and it's like, don't go too far. Stay who you are. Stay aligned with your soul self. Be your true soul. Don't be like, oh, screw them. They oppressed me this way, so I'm going to be punk rock and do everything this way. And we think it's freedom. Look, like someone taught me this, right? Okay, so here's our leg. And our leg operates best like this. Like I can, look at those cute shoes. I can run best like this, right? They have like a little flower over here. I'm still a girl, right? So I can run best like this or skate best like this. If my leg could go all the way around, like the example my philosophy teacher gave us was, I'll just call him that. He taught us C.S. Lewis, the romantic approach and the rational approach to theology. It was beautiful, but he was teaching the philosophical approach at this moment. He said, like Joe Theismann, when a long time ago, his leg like popped out and my knee hurts on that side. So when he was playing football, so everyone saw it. It was like, he didn't go, yeah, my leg is free. What? It can go 360. No, your leg is not free. We confuse. We think that's freedom. Like, oh yeah, now I'm 21 or whatever age in your country. I can go get high. I can go drink or whatever. And we think that's freedom. It's not freedom. It's not freedom to like, if all we wished for as a child was to feel cherished and known and loved and held, and understood and heard and seen and cared for and protected. And then here's this person yelling at us, dumping all their stuff on us and expecting us to do all these things that we ought not to do. That's not healthy for them. It's enabling. And we're taught, be loyal. You need to be loyal. Family first. And it's like, not family if it's enabling you to do wrong, you know? And so we're taught that it's okay for them to keep yelling at us, even though it hurts us and it crushes our spirits. And so we're like, oh, now I'm free to go use all these things and use other people and let them use me, you know, let people use me for my money and my resources and all this stuff that you're not meant to do. But when there's an imbalance in the relationship, you know, that you were taught, your family of origin, that's your family. It's like we're the little kids and they're like the giants, you know? And so to go, no, I'm not going to do that, even though we're 20 now or whatever age we are, my friend's over 20, you know, it's like, we feel like we're going to die because if we went against them when we're like this, they would crush us and go, you're horrible, you know, in whatever way. They would withdraw from us, give us the silent treatment, not offer love anymore. They would, all sorts of things would be withdrawn from us. So we learned, just like, you know, if someone held us up, you know, like that, threatening us, you know, we learn to do what they say. We learn to do that. So, like, it's not an excuse. It's just understand. Give yourself forgiveness. Understand where these patterns came from. But then look, okay, so let's go back to Joe Theismann. Am I really free? Is my leg free because it can go all the way around? Am I really free because I can go get drunk for my problems instead of learning how to face them and learning how to love and be reliable for other people? If I go take care of my problems that way, I'll never take care of my problems. I'll just know to get high. And so that's what Elliott was singing about, is he's like, there's a high that you can go to that's higher than high. It's higher than high when you transcend, when you really enter the spiritual truth and the love that you can have. And Eckhart Tolle was talking about smoking, you know, pot as well. Like he tried it and he said, and maybe it's public, he said it at our conference in front of a lot of people, but I don't want to tell his stuff either. But he was saying, well, everyone kept asking me about it, so I wanted to try it and see what it was like. And he said, it brings you to this lower place. You are getting away from your mind, which we're not meant to be bound by our mind. Our mind can make us crazy, you know. Our mind is meant to be an instrument, like a violin is meant to be an instrument. But if the violin was determining my life, then I would be addicted to that thing, you know. He said, just because, in the book The Power of Now, just because people are addicted to their minds doesn't mean that it's a good thing. Just because 95% of people are addicted to it doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's a societal problem that we have. And so that's the other thing, is you can be addicted to egotism and addicted to mind and not even know it. You totally blend in with society because society rewards your addiction for that. Just like your boss would reward you if you were addicted to getting your identity from work. You know, they'd be like, yeah, I'm only going to pay you the job of one person, but you're doing the job of three. Of course, that's awesome. You know, you're a great person. When really you're not. You're not living in balance. You're not. Be sober in all things. That's a verse, a word of wisdom, word to the wise. Word to the wise, y'all. And so, all addictions deceive us because in the moment we feel high and we feel like, yeah, oh, finally I get relief. Or like what Eckhart Tolle was talking about, people get relief when they get high smoking, you know, because their brain will finally release from their brain, right? Oh, I wrote a poem. It's in my notebook. I wrote it just now before this. Okay, but he said, when you learn how to go above your egotism, when there's the ego death and you go above that, then you don't have to get high It's a high that's higher than high. It's the high that Elliott was talking about. I know because we were in that together. We were friends and I loved him, and we had moments where we were higher than high just as friends. Like it was like a, grade school crush. It was so beautiful. Later when he was single and I was single at the same time. But it doesn't even need to be like that. There doesn't have to be a romantic thing involved for that to be like so beautiful. But it's just knowing, because people run from one relationship to another because they're afraid. So when you don't let go of that high, that's one other thing I was going to say. And then I told someone I'd call them in 15 minutes. So that's right now. I want to keep my word. When you learn how to let go of this stuff and stop relying on your fake highs that are only temporary, that make you their slave. It's not freedom. It's not freedom. You're not using your leg the way it's meant to be operating. You're not using your faculties as a soul in a body. The highest way you could use them. You're numbing yourself and you forget these deep feelings underneath, and then you're not reliable to other people and they can't count on you, so they cut you out. You're cut out of their life because you're not showing true friendship. And so why ought they keep you in their life? They ought not to. Forget it. They can love you from afar and they can wish you love, and they can, I always knew, if Elliott got sober, and he was getting sober, I know he was on his way back to me as our friend, but anyway, that's something else. But you don't know this beautiful love that you find underneath when you let go of the highs. If I'm high all the time, then I'm controlling it. It feels like I'm controlling it, but that thing's controlling me. Who was controlling the dad yelling? The dad felt like I'm in control because I'm yelling at this person. I'm crushing this little kid's spirit. How is that control? That's not real control. That's fake. It's temporary. And so we were taught over and over again that these patterns, to follow these patterns, and they're ridiculous. But you choose. This is your own life. You have free will. And I want to equip people so you can see through this BS. I was praying this morning and I'm like, help us see through the lies. And then I was like, what? Go tell them about the lies, all right? All right, so I'm telling you. So you're accountable. So look at what I'm saying. Listen to this a few times. Ask me questions in the comments. I will gladly answer if it's not already answered. And if so, I will still gladly answer. Find me a different way if the comments get overwhelming in the future. I would love to answer because I love you. That's why I make these. I love you, and I wish you so much love. And share this. That's another way. And live it. So you taste and see if the Lord is good. It's like that. Taste and see if this is good wine. It's better than wine. It's higher than